Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Flat Earth School, the school that is around us 24/7 since the beginning of existence. I'm Mitchell from Australia, merely a student like the rest of us here in this beautiful, natural, flat Earth school around us. Yes, it is flat. It has been proven flat, measured flat, navigationally flat, every other aspect you could ever wish for has been fulfilled as flat. The globe proponents are just going through the motions at the moment, and that's why this show is titled Globe Earth School, begging the question, because that's literally all the globe believers have. This is their school. If you want to be a good glober, you have to know how to beg the question, and it's not hard. You do it without even knowing it. If you say something like, well, if we were on a globe, XYZ, you are begging the question. If you are saying, well, if I'm comparing flat Earth compared to a globe Earth, not only is that a false dichotomy, that's also begging the question. If you not, if you say something like, well, this only works on a globe Earth, that is begging the question. And we're going to find out what begging the question is here in a second. I just want to start a little bit early today because we've got a spectacular sunrise just beneath those clouds in the right-hand corner. Yeah, that's the clouds in the distance. And then we've got some more clouds on the ground there. Is that gas go down, go boom boom? Is that gravity pulling the mist, the clouds down onto the ground? It's quite a spectacular morning. Beautiful. Nathan Oakley, how are you, mate? Additional concerts, explain how. Sleeping Warrior, good to have you all for another week of Flat Earth School. It has been a great 3 months for me, I've got to say. The progression of the Flat Earth arguments over the last 3 months has been astounding. Every single day, we are coming up with new, fresh arguments, piling on top of the old arguments. Some people say to me, some Globers email me and say to me, what will it take for you to believe in a globe? I don't want to spoil the party, but there is just so much that you cannot take back, globe believers. It's so far gone. You cannot. Seeing what we've seen, just start with the black swan observation. A 1 foot observer height, 10-mile horizon in the distance. How can you ever go back to believing you're on a globe of 3959 miles? It is impossible. Yeah, please say refraction. Refraction doesn't bring the horizon up or down. All refraction does is throw the globe under the bus even further. Since January 1, 2020, the globe has been dead. And I don't want to spoil the party too much, don't want to give too much away, but I think we're going to be digging up the coffin of the globe this week here on Flat Earth School. And we're going to be filling it with C4 and absolutely vaporizing the globe beyond any recognition. If you thought the globe was dead already, just wait until you see what we have in store for this week on Flat Earth School. It's going to be a bit later in the week. Still finalizing a few things. All that mist is really creeping in now. It is a beautiful morning here. All right, so today, obviously, the show is titled "Begging the Question." Globe Earth School. This is what they teach on Globe Earth School, and I'm going to be going through a video by one of the globe proponents. They love to make videos on Flat Earth School, videos about what I'm doing. I obviously live rent-free in this person's head, so much so that he is just obsessed with everything that I'm putting out. And obviously, I've been putting out the challenge. Why has nobody been addressing the #1 flat Earth proof? And we're going to go through that today. Someone has addressed the #1 flat Earth proof. None other than my old mate, Wally. James Mason, how are you, mate? Just time for the presentation. All right, I think we better get into it because they don't like to make short videos, do they? They like to take up all the time they can, waffling on about begging the question. We're going to find out that in a second. All right, let's go through this.
G'day everybody, where's Wally here? Well,
Yeah, it's that adult dressed as the child's cartoon character again. No, need I say more?
we have all heard Mitchell from Australia bang on about sextants only working on a flat Earth and that they cannot work on a globe.
Well, at least he's got the premise right. He knows where this is going pretty quick. Since January 1, 2020, the globe has been dead. So now it's time to prove where we actually live. May I present to you the number one flat Earth proof?
Well, at the end of this video, I have yet another one of my fantastic challenges for Mitchell. My money is pretty safe though. He's gone shy when it comes to doing my challenges. He hasn't even touched the $50 show a line from the SCP to the GP of the SCP. It's a super simple challenge, but oh well, his loss. But first I want to show why Mitch is in a dip.
Look at the arrogance of these guys. Like, they say, I've got money for you. Come do my challenge. Why aren't you doing my challenge? Why aren't you giving me attention? Like, these guys, I make the analogy of they're like the dog that you don't want to see out the back. Like, they sit at your doorstep waiting for any human contact, any little sign of affection or that someone's there coming to see them. And I'm not coming to see you, Wally. Is that painful for you? Like, the best that you're getting here is I'm playing your damn video because you claim to have addressed the number one flat Earth proof. So no, I won't be doing your challenges, mate. I'm not going to be showing you affection. I'm not going to say, yeah, good dog. Thanks for sitting there. I'm not going to reward you, mate.
Pitch when it comes to sextants and navigation.
And flat earthers have just been looking for that one thing that we can put our finger on.
Yeah, you lot have been struggling for years to come up with an actual proof that can't be debunked in less time than it takes for a Tesla to go from 0 to 60.
Nice, a bit of projection there. Obviously, he has to say that, yeah, all our flat Earth proofs have been debunked. We haven't had a flat Earth proof before this number one flat Earth proof. No, we've had many. Taboo conspiracy. I did a show on Thursday last week. 15 flat Earth facts. They're from way back in the day. They're not new. Like, these are things that we've been talking about for years. So I think it's the globe that are putting arguments forward and they get debunked faster than a Maserati. Yeah, a bit of projection there. That one thing that when people say, what would you say is the number one flat Earth? Well, this is it. The sextant, celestial navigation. We stand here before you, anchors dropped. We're dropping anchor on the sextant, on the number one flat Earth proof. The way you use the premise behind why the sextant works.
Are you sure you want to tie yourself to that anchor, Mitchell? Oh well, having done that, can you just stand up here on this plank for me? Now take a short walk, will ya?
The number one flat Earth proof. And you can tell, it's very telling how polarizing this is for the globe believers because nobody is addressing it. And when they do start to address it, they beg the question that they're already on a globe.
It's not begging the question if you assume a starting position and
What? It's not begging the question if you assume a starting position. Oh, this guy is a wally. Oh, man. And look at the diagram that he puts up. I'm not begging the question about, I'm just going to put a radius in there. I'm just going to put that this is happening on a globe. The thing that you're trying to prove, Wally, this is why I have named this show Globe Earth School. Begging the question. This is their number one globe proof. Begging the question. All you got to do is pretend you're on a globe to begin with. That's all you got to do. Put a diagram of that globe up there. Put a little radius. This is where the distance is going across that arc value there. It's definitely not flat because look, it can only work on a globe. Yeah, you're begging the question. You haven't proven the R value to begin with. You haven't proven the thing that you're trying to show that is reality in the first instance. That is begging the question. They just don't get it. And it's hilarious. We're going to pull them up every single time. Yeah, keep showing us your little diagrams with the radius values that have been absolutely debunked by the black swan. That radius value, is it still 6,500 kilometers? No. And it's gonna be even worse. The Black Swan now puts the if you want to put it back into miles, 3959 miles, that should be the radius of your presupposed spherical Earth. Can't be any bigger, can't be any less. It certainly can't be 264,000 miles. That's what the Black Swan now puts your radius at. And by the end of the week, it's gonna be a lot more.
Declare it that could be either a globe or flat, and having picked one,
No, there's another fallacy, false dichotomy. It could be either globe or flat, as if they're the only two options, as if those options actually exist. Well, the globe has to actually exist for it to be an option, Wally. Yeah, false stop. They're just full of fallacies. That's what we have to do. We just have to point them out.
then you do your test, and if it doesn't match reality, then it's likely you picked wrong.
Yeah, there it is. There's the false dichotomy. Let's look at reality. Does your flat Earth map, the AE map, line up with reality or, better than my globe map? Oh, look, my globe lines up a bit better. So yeah, it must be a globe. They're the only two options. So yeah, globe wins. No, false dichotomy. And we don't claim the AE map, or I certainly don't. I don't know where you're coming from with it works better in reality, because sextants only work on the flat Earth, and we're going to go through that today.
But as you see on this diagram, globe works fine. Must be right.
That is the epitome of the globe belief. Globe works fine, so it must be right. Yeah, it must be right. Don't worry about the black swan. Don't worry about the sextant only working on a flat surface, never on a curved surface, never with a bendy line from your observer to the horizon. You just need to know how the sextant works. It has a flat baseline from the observer eye through the sextant to the horizon. If you can't achieve that flat baseline, a straight line, the 0 point where you're going to measure angles from, then the sextant will not work. It is as simple as that. It is as simple as that. At least sometimes they do try and represent our arguments at how we put them. If there is no flat baseline, you cannot get an angle. This is an angle measuring device. That's what the sextant is.
Yes, it's an angle measuring device, and it absolutely does not have to be from a flat baseline.
Wow, that's a massive claim there, Wally. Does not have to be from a flat baseline. So what, are you trying to claim that the angles don't have to be straight? Is that what you're trying to claim?
It can measure from any reference point to another reference point, like a star, like Polaris or Sigma Antares, or it can measure from vertical or from a horizontal surface.
Oh, how embarrassing, Wally. See that flat baseline you put there to the water? Yeah, this is a method that navigators can use, that someone on land can use to get a reference to a flat baseline. See how there's the lack of curvature there? You can't use a curved baseline, Wally. Always got to be flat, mate. It's pretty embarrassing that you put these slides up in something that you're trying to disprove, the number one flat Earth proof.
Surface of, say, a liquid of mercury or a bowl of water. It's not hard.
But 100% of the time, they need to be measuring an angle. And that can only occur if you have a flat baseline to begin with. That's the killer blow right here. That's what we're measuring.
Strawman much, Mitch? Seems you don't know sextants, Mitchell. You can absolutely measure any angle between two separated.
There's that flat baseline again from the observer on the ship. Yeah, having a nice flat baseline, that X there, yeah, to get the height of something like a physical object like the lighthouse, a physical object like that mountain that Alberuni went up. He had to physically measure the mountain on a flat plane first before he went up and presuppose that he was on a spherical Earth. I don't even know why they put these in and say it must be a globe. It definitely looks like a globe, doesn't it, globe believers? That flat baseline that absolutely proves that we're on a flat Earth and we have to treat everything as if it were flat.
Points.
It needs a flat baseline from the observer's eye to the horizon, and then we can measure angles from that. The flat baseline. And we know from the black swan that that horizon there, that's not Earth curve. It's not a tangent line on a sphere. If you're thinking it is a tangent line on a sphere,
Tell me, Mitch, why can't it be a straight tangent line?
because you're begging the question, Wally, you have to first prove that which you're presupposing. If you're saying we live on a globe with tangent lines, Where's your radius? Black swan. Yeah, it is an absolute bitch for the globe, isn't it?
Mathematically, a tangent to a sphere is totally acceptable. Oh, you need to remove tangents from play, don't you?
Oh, this is hilarious. We need to remove tangents from play? You need to give us an R value. You need to prove. Stop begging the question. You need to prove that you're living on a sphere to begin with. Can you show me where a tangent line is in this, Wally? I think you're a bit confused. You've got tangent planes on this globe here. Where's the tangent lines, mate? I see 3 tangent planes. It's even more begging the question. Why are you measuring off a flat surface here? And you're even showing that the tangent planes don't work on a globe. Those tangent planes, they need to be lined up with each other, need to be next to each other. That's how GPS works. Cartesian coordinates, XYZ coordinates, boxes. Yeah, they've got flat tangent planes and they've got vertical parallel boxes, lines. Yeah, it does not fit on a globe as you're showing quite elegantly right there. I don't know what this image is trying to achieve for the globe, but it's really proving that tangent planes and tangent lines, they don't work in reality here. That's not what we see. You need those tangent planes to be meeting up. That's what they do on a flat Earth. Any flat parcel of land, you can meet up next to the next flat parcel of land. That's how surveying works. That's how it does work. That's how it's always worked. That's how we have our flat Earth maps. Every map that we have that has been measured physically flat. Yeah? All the tangent planes. They're not on a globe. You need a globe for that. We just have geometric flat planes. That's what reality is.
Sorry, bud. Tangents work because math says so.
Another one of maths proves things. Yeah, thanks. Taking a book out of leaf out of Flat Earth. What's his name? Fight the Flat Earth's book. Yeah, brilliant. Good work, Wally.
It only works on the globe.
I think we can agree. We're all on a massive high right now from from proving that this is the number one flat Earth proof. That's what we can stand behind. That's what we can hold up and say. We can physically measure the the Earth is flat. This is number one flat Earth proof.
Can you, though? Have you actually tried to measure the Earth using the sextant?
Yeah, it's done every day, Wally. I just want to show everyone how beautiful this sunrise is here. Hope it's coming through with the mist on the ground. Is that gas going down, go boom boom? Is that gravity holding that cloud down on the ground? It's a glorious morning here on Flat Earth School. I love this stuff. Hope you guys are enjoying it. All right, let's go back to this. Can he get to actually proving that the flat Earth proof is the number one flat Earth proof? The sextant doesn't happen on a flat Earth. Is it? What is he trying to prove?
I have a challenge for you at the end of this video.
No, here we
See
go.
if you're able to put your skills to the test and get the right answer.
When you're viewing a star on a globe, how are we measuring an angle to the horizon? That line, 90 degrees above your head, the zenith, actually runs to the center of your spherical Earth. And notice how he cut something out there. You can hear the editing to that the spherical Earth. Yeah, the presupposed spherical Earth. It's good you leave those little facts out, the inadmissible facts that you like to deceive your audience with, Wally, to the presupposed spherical Earth, because once again you are begging the question. You have never ever proven that your Earth has a radius. We have definitely proven with the Black Swan that your Earth is definitely not a radius of 3959 miles. 90 degrees from that, celestial horizon is a horizontal plane passing through the Earth's center, perpendicular to the zenith. I highlight this in the number one flat Earth proof because you've got two begging the questions here. You've got the celestial horizon. Yeah. What's the celestial horizon? Can we ever experience the celestial horizon going through the center of a presupposed spherical Earth and meeting with the zenith at a 90-degree angle? That's what they have to do. It's great that Wally puts this in here. This is what they have to think on a globe if they think the sextant has any chance of working. So you can now use your sextant. So yet another horizon is needed. They use the bubble level in the sextant to create the artificial horizon, is parallel to the celestial horizon. And this is just straight out of a book in the Globe Earth on how they think the sextant is working. See how they have to have a 90-degree angle, and Wally's going to confirm this at the end here, that They absolutely have to have that flat baseline, the artificial horizon. You cannot measure angles. On a curved surface, you need two straight lines, one of them being the flat baseline. Because even globe believers know you cannot measure an angle to a curved surface you think's beneath your feet. Look at this. This is a good one. 90 degrees right there. Well, he's trying to say that you can have a 90-degree angle on a globe with your spotlight sun. Yeah, that spotlight sun coming directly to Earth. The rays not going anywhere else. It'd be nice if we had it's kind of divergent rays today. It's not as good as other days, but you can see at the bottom there the bit divergent. Yeah, if you go back to one of my other streams, I think it was the Taboo conspiracy one. The 15 flat Earth facts with Taboo conspiracy. There was lots and lots of divergent rays, crepuscular rays from the sun that morning, live on Flat Earth School. Isn't it a bitch that these rays don't come in parallel to your spherical Earth? Because number one, it's not a spherical Earth. Number two, the rays from the sun don't come in parallel, mate. It's not a spotlight sun because it is absolutely the globe who claims they have a spotlight sun right here. And obviously all the parallel rays are forming different angles there. So now they can actually start and take a measurement from their 0 point of the artificial horizon to the celestial body. Look at what the globe believers are doing. They then have to measure from the artificial horizon a dip angle down to the visual horizon. How many horizons do the globe need? We only have one horizon. In your reality, it has to be Earth curve, that physical leading edge to your globe that ships drop off over because you guys have an edge. You like to project and say, where's our edge for boats to drop off over? That's literally what the globe has to have, a physical leading edge, the geometric, physical edge to their globe. How many horizons do they need? The celestial horizon, artificial horizon, geometric horizon. In reality, right here on the flat Earth, we only have one horizon. We don't have to make up horizons. This is the extent that the globe goes to. The begging of the questions is enormous. The only actual horizon that we have. Do you all realize now how devastating the black swan actually is to the globe?
Okay, seems Mitchell is right across how sextants on the globe actually work.
Thanks for confirming that, Wally. Massive begging the question fallacies there. Where I'm right across how sextants work on the globe. Yeah, you need all those horizons. You need to presuppose that you're on a spherical Earth. You need to presuppose that you have multiple horizons and some of those horizons are parallel to other horizons. So and that you have to presuppose that the sun's rays, that big spotlight sun on your globe, comes directly parallel rays directly at the Earth. Yeah, all begging the question, mate. You've never proven any of this, and you never will prove any of this. That's why I've titled this show Globe Earth School, begging the question. That is their number one globe proof, begging the question. If we just say that we're on a globe, if we just say these things are happening in reality, that makes it true. No, you're just begging the question. You're full of logical fallacies, flawed logic. That's all the globe has.
Good boy, Mitchell. He's a good boy.
This is how we have proven our flat Earth, Wally. Please go to my video titled The Number One Flat Earth Proof on my channel. It's got about 10,000 views at the moment, Wally, and do a debunk of that.
Oh, Mitchell, I hate to break it to you. I don't think you're the number one flat Earth proof anymore, mate. I actually found.
What? I'm not the number one flat. Have I ever claimed that I'm the number one flat Earth proof? Oh, the height of this guy. Yeah, thanks, Wally. I would like to be the number one flat Earth proof, but it's just not possible. We actually have to use the Earth around you, your reality. Yeah, I'm not the Earth, mate. I'm just presenting the number one flat Earth proof, which is the sextant.
Found someone who is really number one flat Earth proof. I say that.
Oh my god, can this guy even speak? I found someone who is the number one flat Earth proof. I don't even know what I apologise, audience. I don't know why I'm putting you through this. I don't know where Wally's going with this. I don't know how this proves that it's not on a flat Earth. I don't know how he's going to get out of this, but yeah, he's just stumbling his way through this. Let's.
This because he actually makes more sense than you do, Mitch. Here, let's have a look.
To see that picture there, look, he's Zenith standing there in the centre of this arc of horizon. 5K to
Yeah,
the
that's
horizon.
right, Clive. It might be in the
Overhead.
test.
Zenith, you're always Zenith. No matter where you are on the Earth, Zenith. Don't believe me? Go to Stellarium or understand celestial navigation. That's what happens.
Celestial.
You use the almanacs. You take your sextant reading, you get an angle from the horizon up to a star.
Oh,
The
celestial.
notebook wants to know where you are in relation to that star and your zenith. So whatever makes up the angle to 90 degrees, then you are zenith. Then the book does a calculation, the distance there, and tells you exactly how far you are from that star's GP point down onto the ocean. Now they've got to figure out those GP points. Oh, it's all mathematical, but they've known it for millions of years. Already, it's all
Millions
math.
of years.
I'm not good at math. So there you go.
So let's have a look at his so-called number
I don't know what that proved. How we're using the sextant, pretty much exactly how I was using it. I don't know, Wally.
one flat Earth proof, shall we?
May I present to you the number one flat Earth proof. Here in reality, we live on a flat plane.
Well, I skipped a little bit here, but whoa, stop right there, Mitchell. You assumed flat, and according to you, assumptions are no-nos.
So you admit that you skipped a little bit, that the little bit was that I actually proved that we're living on a flat Earth, Wally? That's the little bit that you skipped in the number one flat Earth proof? Yeah, I got to this point by showing that a sextant only works on a flat Earth. You have to have a flat baseline, mate.
Yeah, I was wrong. And this may be news to people. We also have a flat sky plane.
Whoa, stop right there, Mitchell, again. You assumed the flat sky plane, and according to you, that is a no-no. And also, it's totally unproven. A double no-no.
Yeah, a flat sky plane is a logical inference. If you've got a flat plane beneath your feet, you need to have a flat sky plane to be measuring angles to as well. Wally, catch up, mate.
Strike two, Mitchell. Not a good start.
Yeah, I was wrong. Above us, where the celestial bodies exist. From the vantage point of our flat plane, when viewing the celestial bodies, we perceive their position and movement as a dome.
Yeah, to make your navigation work, you have to curve the unproven sky plane, don't you?
Wally, didn't you hear that it is only perceived? It appears to be in a dome. Yeah, that's not actual, mate. We don't actually have a dome above our heads, and the stars aren't in that dome. No, that's not what I'm saying. You don't have to curve the sky plane above your head. You have to treat it as flat. That's what we're measuring. You don't get angles to curved, mate. That's what we're saying the whole time. Flat Earth, flat sky plane, measuring straight lines, straight angles from the flat Earth to the flat sky plane.
That's strike three, Mitchell.
This is purely our perception from this vantage point on our flat plane.
There it is again, our perception, Wally. That's just how our perception works. That's how our perspective works. We see the sky as if it were a dome above our heads. I'm definitely not saying it is a physical dome. I'm definitely not saying it is an actual dome. And I'm definitely not curving the sky. That's just our perception.
It's not actually a dome above the Earth. All celestial bodies rise in the east, move in an apparent semicircular motion above the sky, and set in the west.
All celestial bodies? Really, Mitchell? Are you sure you want to make that positive claim? Let me show you. No, actually, ask your kids to show you the SCP one more time. Those celestial bodies rotate around the SCP. They don't move from east to west. In fact, the stars between the SCP and the GP of the SCP are observed to be moving the other way.
The other way, Wally. They're all moving in the same relative direction, mate. What are you talking about? Do you want, let's just see that little video again. Are the stars below the Southern Cross there moving the opposite direction?
Your bodies rotate around the SCP. They don't move from east to west. In fact, the stars between the SCP and the GP of the SCP are observed to be moving the other way.
The other way. So if these stars are moving in clockwise direction, they're going to be moving in an anti-clockwise direction, Wally. Yeah, you really are a Wally, mate. Everything is going from east to west in that direction. Are you saying that they're going from west to east? The opposite direction, Wally? What a Wally.
Sorry that these facts are inconvenient for you, mate. That is strike 4.
Now, don't get me wrong. Our Earth is measurably, observably, and obviously contained. But it just doesn't have to be a dome shape, or any shape for that matter. But I digress.
Saying I digress does not make you sound intelligent. On the contrary, it makes you sound exactly like Quantum Eraser.
Looking at this,
Wow. What a generic fallacy right there. No, these are my arguments, mate. This is from me. Why are we bringing up Quantum Eraser right here? These are my arguments. Why do you have to try and throw someone else under the bus? Why do you have to have an ad hom attack at someone else? This is my argument right here. This is what the globe believers have to do. They have to bring other people into it.
flat celestial plane above our heads, we can see that everything rises in the east, moves across the sky, and sets in the west.
Yeah, do you want to actually show us something that isn't moving from east to west, Wally, that isn't moving in that same direction? Is there things in the sky that are moving in opposite directions relative to the other stars? No, mate, they're all moving in the same direction. Doesn't matter if you're looking north, doesn't matter if you're looking south, it is all going from east to west in that motion. Now, you can presuppose that you're looking antipodal when you're turning around from looking north to looking south. But you're begging the question, mate. You're going to need half of that. Another begging the question fallacy. You have not proven you have not proven that you're on a globe. You have not proven that there is antipodal positions that you're looking at.
We just perceive a motion of a dome shape. Every star in the flat celestial plane has a position relative to our flat plane where it will be 90 degrees. This is called the geographical position, or the GP, of that star relative to our flat plane here on Earth. When the observer is at the GP of the star, it appears 90 degrees above their head. Celestial navigation works by using a sextant to measure the angle of that known star and using its relative GP, geographical position, to know where you are. And I'll continue to point out that measuring angles to celestial bodies only works if we are on a flat plane.
Oh my, Mitchell, do you see the problem you have here? Who am I kidding? Of course you don't.
There's no problems on flat Earth, mate. I just want to go back to this beautiful shot here. Where's all the gas gone? Where's all the cloud gone? Gas go down, go boom, boom. Gravity holding all the cloud that we saw earlier in the stream to the... Nah, it's all gone. How inconvenient for you. Yeah, there's no gravity. There's no force. There's no downward bias. None of that. Gas expands freely and rapidly in all directions. Back to Wally actually getting to the point for once. Let's go into it.
Okay, if you're going to claim that you can calculate D by using the angle of the star, then you're going to need H for that.
Here we go. This is where Wally wants to go. He wants to say that those lights in the sky are some physical things with an actual height above our heads. Have I ever claimed that, Wally? Have I given you any H values? Have I said anything's height? No. I've quite explicitly said every celestial body above our heads, they're not physical. They're only apparent. We can only derive an apparent size, an apparent angle, an apparent distance to them. No, never ever a physical distance. You can't achieve that H, Wally. And the way that we get the D, it is in the nautical almanac. Yeah, if you're getting a 30-degree angle to a known navigational star, you just look it up in the nautical almanac, and you know how far you are from that GP. We're not doing calculations here. It's already in the book, mate. Yeah, you can do calculations. You can get that distance using a calculation, but we're not getting anything to do with a H value here. That does not come into celestial navigation. We don't need to know the heights of those apparent things in the sky. That's where it all falls apart for the globe, trying to debunk the #1 flat Earth proof. You show me where I've ever claimed a height to any celestial body.
And Mitchell, you most definitely do not have H.
Yeah, that's just what I said. Wally, keep up, mate.
All those stars we have to treat all those stars as if they were the same elevation. But they're obviously not a physical elevation. You cannot do trigonometry to get distances.
Wow, I have not seen that much hand waving since the last royal visit. Such an amazing fail, Mitchell. Here you
An
are.
amazing fail detailing exactly what I just said, Wally. You cannot derive a height, to those stars, those celestial objects that are definitely not physical, that are only apparent, mate. They don't actually have a physical height. They're not actually physically intangible. What a fail. Wait, is this where he's going? Is this where the #1 flat Earth proof falls over? You need to have a height? So you're strawmanning in a height, and then you're going to attack that. That's what a strawman is.
Saying you can't use triangles for triangulation, and you're showing triangles on the screen. My goodness. So you went and had a problem with
So we're going back to the presupposed spherical Earth with the radius value that's been absolutely debunked by Black Swan. Okay, yeah, continue. Continue your begging the question, Wally. Give us R before you give us this globe.
me having a curved line between 2 points on the triangle. And you said, whoops, that's not allowed. But the problem you got there, mate, is it actually is. Because
Yeah, it's allowed in globe Earth school. Yeah, the imagination land where you can just beg the question all you want. At least he knows. Like, you're getting the dirty little secret out. Yeah, he knows that you're not allowed to do this shit. Like, you have to actually prove the thing that you're trying to say that you live upon. You can't use it as already given. It's already given. We know we're on a globe. I'm allowed to do this. I'm allowed to think that there is a radius of this globe that I have not proven, that the Black Swan absolutely demolishes. How inconvenient and embarrassing for the globe.
I was actually stating the distance between the 2 points. I was not worried about the shape of the line at all.
Yeah, well, why have you put a curved line between those 2 points there? It is absolutely flat. The shortest route between 2 points is a straight line, Wally. Why is a curve?
Can be unicorn shaped for all I care.
What an idiot.
Doesn't matter. It's actually the distance between the points that matters. I'd say get Kiwi to explain this to you. Of course, from his spot up on top of Mount Stupid, he's not going to really have any chance of helping you, is he?
Yeah, more ad homs, more genetic
Sorry to kill
fallacies.
your year of the sextant, but Mitchell, you're wrong. 10th man is wrong. Nathan is wrong. And Kiwi, as always, is totally wrong.
And apparently every person who has ever used a sextant for celestial navigation is wrong. Are you an absolute idiot, Wally? This is how we use the sextant for celestial navigation.
Let me show you why you're going to need H. The only thing you know is the GP and the angle to the star.
And the distance from the GP to the observer. That's what is in the nautical almanac. Wally, have you ever used a sextant? Have you ever opened a nautical almanac? All the distances are there from the GP to an angle that you've just measured on a flat baseline. Don't need any heights. No heights in the nautical almanac. No heights needed in the calculations, mate.
However,
Here we
D
go.
is proportional to H for any given
What did
angle.
I say? It all falls apart, doesn't it? If we are claiming a height, well, it's a good thing we're not claiming a height, Wally. Good straw man. So you're building a straw man and you're burning the shit out of it. Good work, Wally.
Triangles say so. Here in my little diagram, 3 different H's give you 3 different values for D. And triangulation is not possible when you have ambiguous circles of possible position. Basically, you have an infinite number of circles. You have an infinite number of possible positions from one sighting and an infinite number from the other. So now you've got infinity squared.
Seriously, infinity. Oh, this guy. Not even gonna.
That's bigger than infinity, or is it?
Just shut
Hell,
up.
I don't know. Anyway, Mitch, I know that's strike 5, and you're out.
We can conclude that they are both on what's called a circle of equal altitude. And this is another killer blow to the globe right here. Everything on that circle of equal altitude is exactly that, equal altitude. No matter where you are on that circle, you're going to measure 30 degrees. And through being able to measure an angle to that star relative to the horizon, everything on that circle, in between that circle, in the area of that circle is absolutely flat.
Killer blow, you say, Mitch? Well, more of a wet tissue, if you ask.
Let's go back to what. So this is what we're actually measuring here. This is unedited. This is actually Wally's video. He's showing literally how we use a sextant and how it proves a flat Earth. And then he goes, "No, that's not how we're using the sextant. It has to be on a sphere." You know that point that says subpoint right there. How are you achieving a 90-degree angle there, Wally? See, it says co-alt. Yeah, equals 90 degrees minus 40 degrees. How are you getting that 90-degree angle on a curved surface, Wally? See these little angles that we're measuring 40 degrees on this circle of equal altitude. How are we measuring without a flat baseline? Obviously, you got to put those flat baselines in. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 flat baselines there on your globe. Does not work. You do not have flat, level surfaces on a globe. You have a curved surface in every direction at the tune of 8 inches per mile squared. Does not work on a globe, mate.
Hey, Mitch? Well, more of a wet tissue, if you ask me. See, mate, you
There's the parallel lines coming in. That spotlight sun that you globers claim.
have not proven that the area inside the circle of equal altitude is flat.
Yeah, that's what it is. An area of equal altitude, a circle of altitude. It has been measured as absolutely flat. You've just shown the diagram. I don't know where this guy's coming from. Is he just whistling past the graveyard? Is he seriously this stupid?
On a globe, the circle of the Tropic of Cancer is a circle of equal altitude to Polaris. But inside that circle is a chunk of the planet that isn't flat. It's a
Chunk of the planet? Yeah, begging the question again that you have a planet. You've got a presupposed spherical Earth with a radius value that's been absolutely debunked by the Black Swan. Nice, Wally. Nice begging the question on Globe Earth School.
huge ass curve.
You called Wall?
No, not now,
Oh.
Hugh.
This
Oh,
disgusting person.
So every single time you say the area inside the circle of equal altitude
And see how he likes to put up these images of an absolute flat circle of equal altitude, because that's how it only works with a flat baseline.
is flat, that is only on a flat Earth. Here, in reality, it's curved. So that point of yours kind of proves absolutely nothing. Well, except that flat Earth is really desperate.
By doing this once with a sextant, you know you are somewhere on that circle of equal altitude. To triangulate your actual position, you need to repeat these steps with other stars. Your position is where all these areas of equal altitude meet.
Oh, well, that's strike 6, because on a flat plane, each circle is ambiguous, so you cannot define a point. Ambiguous circles crossing ambiguous circles means you still got no
Yeah, just that Strawman again. We haven't claimed a height, and you can't have infinity times infinity. How dumb is this guy? I'm just going to let this play out because we don't have that much time left.
idea where the hell you are. Let's double check to see if Mitch is in a ditch much. We'll have a look at from another video. This is Flat Earth School number 28.
And this is what we get from the sextant. We can use the sextant to measure an angle. This is the observer point here. We measure an angle to something like the sun. We'll call this the sun. We know this is the only radius value that we can distinguish. Yeah, the distance from the GP point of the celestial body like the sun, straight line down to the GP point. We know how far away we are using the sextant, using the angle. 3 straight lines here creates an area of equal altitude.
How exactly are you calculating R there, Mitchell? If you're going to calculate R, you're going to need H for that.
Definitely don't need H's in the Nautical Almanac, mate. There's no mention of any H's in the Nautical Almanac. We can calculate it. We don't have to. It's already there for us, and there's no mention in the Nautical Almanac of any H's. Just the radius of the circle of equal altitude.
You do not know how high that star is, do you? You're assuming the height.
We don't need to assume any height. I keep saying to you, Wally, it does not have a height. It is only apparent.
Yeah, I was wrong, and I can admit I was wrong. This is not devastating for me at all. And when we use multiple areas of equal altitude, see the 3 parallel lines? Yeah, these stars up here. So if that's 3 different stars, their GPs are all parallel, meaning that not only is the Earth flat, the baseline that you need, the sky is also flat. Yeah?
Flat sky? How do you know this? Again, then you're going to need H for that.
All those stars we have to treat all those stars as if
Oh,
they
this
were
guy's
the
an idiot.
same elevation.
Oh, wow, you just debunked your celestial navigation entirely there. You're assuming H, but you still need to know what H is. Otherwise, you can't calculate your distance. Or
There's no H assumed, mate. You've got a flat baseline there. You've got an angle, and you know the distance from the GP. That is a physical distance from the GP to the observer. It's simple. There's no H needed. There is no... Obviously, if they're trying to project, they're saying that we're begging the question of a height. No, Wally. They're all apparent. You have to treat everything as if it's in a flat celestial plane. There's no height to it, mate.
R.
Yeah, I was wrong, and I can admit I was wrong. This is not devastating for me at all.
So, Mitchell, here we come to the challenge. I want you to prove that you can measure a distance using the sextant on a flat plane. Here is what I want you to do. What you're going to need is a drone and that theodolite app like you've been using just here. That'll be just fine. I think you'll need a clipboard and a marking pen and a large flat area like a field or a sports ground. Okay, Mitchell, are you ready? Starting at one side of the field. Fly your drone up high, hover it, lock it in position, maybe point the camera down to record this whole challenge too. And that would
Holy
be
shit,
nice.
you think I'm going to do this
Now
challenge?
show the controller.
Yeah, let's just skip ahead. What's the next steps that we're going to be not doing, Wally? How about you go and do this yourself? Yeah, that's an idea. How about you go and prove that it's not a flat Earth, mate? How about you go and prove that you're living on a globe? Give us your radius value. That's what you're going to do, Wally. Yeah, you think I'm going to jump through some hoops for some money? Nah, it's not happening, mate. The arrogance of these people. These are all the steps, and there's more. Yeah, $50, and then there's another challenge for another. Wally. How arrogant can you be? Yeah, it's just not happening. What else we got here? Okay, I think that's the end of Wally's presentation here, and I've got a little presentation for Wally myself at the end of this. All right, let's go into the screen share. All right. Wally's had his chance. He's proved absolutely nothing. It's very telling how polarizing this is for the globe believers, because nobody is addressing it. And when they do start to address it, they beg the question that they're already on a globe.
It's not begging the question if you assume a starting position and declare it.
Yeah, let's pause it right there. Begging the question, assuming the initial point. Yeah, assuming the answer. The circular reasoning. Any form of argument where the conclusion is assumed in one of the premises. Begging the question, Wally. How embarrassing for you, and how embarrassing for the globe.
That could be either a globe or flat, and having picked one, then you do your test, and if it doesn't match reality, then it's likely you picked wrong.
Yeah, just a bit of flat Earth school here. This is what the globe believers, the globe Earth school has. All they have is logical fallacies. This is a false dilemma, or also called a false dichotomy. The either fallacy, the either or reasoning. It has to be a globe or has to be flat. Yeah, it's just logical fallacies, mate. That's all they have.
But as you see on this diagram, globe works fine. Must be right. I know, Mitchell, what you're going to say about this. You're presuming R. Well, fair cop, I am kind of presuming R in this.
Thank you so much for confirming that, Wally. And this is how Wally got these little calculations in the first place. Yeah, he presumed R. How about you actually physically measure R, Wally? Can you derive that anyway? Can you even calculate that anyway from anything in reality? That's what you need to do to stop begging the question. You need to actually I've got a challenge for you, Wally. How about you go out and you prove that you've got any globe proof at all? Give us any sign of the globe. Give us any sign of the radius. black swan. Yeah, it's a massive, massive failure on your part here. We still have the #1 flat Earth proof. You have not debunked anything, Wally. You just proven in the Globe Earth School that you need to beg the question for every single point.
This case.
Begging the question right again. Assuming the initial point that you just need to know how the sextant works. It has a flat baseline from the observer eye through the sextant to the horizon. If you can't achieve that flat baseline, a straight line, the 0 point where you're going to measure angles from, then the sextant will not work. It is as simple as that. If there is no flat baseline, you cannot get an angle. This is an angle measuring device. That's what the sextant is.
Yes, it's an angle measuring device, and it absolutely does not have to be from a flat baseline.
You measure a flat baseline from your eye to the horizon, and from your eye to whatever star or thing you're trying to sight to. There's no
Yep.
R value calculated, dude. You
Nope.
don't know what you're talking about. You
Fantastic.
absolutely do not know.
Sean Hawkins has just detailed how we measure a flat Earth. He is directly talking to you, Wally. You don't know what you're talking about, pal. You have a flat baseline. Beautiful, Sean. So
Hi,
where does
I'm Sean Hawkins, and I approve this message. Celestial navigation via a sextant? You're going to need a globe for that.
You're going to need R for that.
Mitchell, you want to do celestial navigation with a sextant? You're going to need a globe for that.
You're going to need R for that.
Hi, I'm Mr. Sensible, and I approve this message.
At best, you would have disproved the radius of the Earth.
Celestial navigation with a sextant? You're going to need a globe for that.
But you're going to need R for that.
What was that, Wally? You're gonna need half of that.
Hi, I'm Critical Think from Down Under, and I approve this message. Celestial navigation with a sextant? You're gonna need a globe for that.
Yeah, you're going to need all for that.
This is Wolfie's attempt at humour. Oh, get to the point, Wolfie.
I am your father.
Hilarious. Nice one, Wolfie.
It's recording.
Oh, it's recording. Oh.
Hi, Wally. It's Wolfie6020. Sorry about that. I was just having a bit of fun. Celestial navigation
So
with a
much
sextant.
fun.
You're going to need a globe for that.
You're going to need R for that.
We have triple inertial reference systems, 2 aviation-grade GPS receivers, 4 crew iPads on the flight deck, 2 Garmin GDL50s, and a bad elf. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. But when all else fails, we have the ultimate backup.
The #1 flat Earth
The
proof.
sextant.
The sextant. Thanks, Wolfie.
And this never fails.
Because we're measuring flat Earth. Thanks, Wolfie.
Hey, Wally, thanks for having me stop by. You know, the bottom line is this. If you're going to use a sextant for navigation on Earth, you're going to need a globe for that.
You're going to need R for that.
I'm Bob the Science Guy, and I approve this message.
A tool that measures angles from straight lines.
Yep.
Where'd you get a straight line for a sextant, considering you've got sphere-shaped hair?
I'm
I don't
looking
have one.
At the sextant and it's straight line, and where you get it on a sphere.
I don't have one. When would you like me to come on the show, Nathan?
You're here now. Where'd you get a straight line for a sextant in atmosphere?
I don't have one.
So where'd you get a straight line for a sextant on a globe?
I don't have one.
Where would you get a straight line, considering that there's always atmosphere for a sextant?
I don't have one.
Get a straight line when you've got atmosphere on a globe.
I don't have one.
So you can't tell me now where you get a straight line from, coward.
I don't have one.
So where'd you get a straight line for the sextant?
I don't have one.
You don't have one?
Correct.
It's a tool that measures angles from straight lines.
Yep.
Well, guys, I think we're just about done. Oh, one more thing for those of us who are lovers of irony. Sorry, just put your fingers in your ears for a few seconds. This is Nathan Oakley, and this is really funny.
You're making a claim that we're on a flat Earth.
Yeah, triangulation proves that you can only do this triangulation if the surface of Earth is flat. I've already stated that several times. Now you're talking about beach balls and begging the question of spheres. You still haven't acknowledged whether or not you understand what a begging the question fallacy is. Do you or don't you?
I absolutely do. And I believe
What's a
you're
begging the
doing it.
question fallacy?
I believe you're doing it.
I'm not doing anything. I'm talking about triangulation. That's facts. Not begging the question of anything. If you are triangulating, you will, fact, have a straight, flat baseline. That's not begging the question. That's a fact.
It's very... Wally. That's why I've titled this show Begging the Question. How the Globe Earth begs the question. This is the Globe Earth School. How to beg the question. I really hope everyone has enjoyed this presentation today. It has been a thorough debunking of what one, I don't even know if he's a globe believer because he can't give us any globe proof. He only has to beg the question, and I suppose that's what globe believers are, aren't they? They can only beg the question. If you head over to Nathan Oakley 1980, he is now premiering a uncut and after show. Please subscribe to Nathan Oakley 1980. He is having a show right now, and I have to go early because I'm actually working again. Hooray! Go me! I want to really extend my appreciation to all my patrons. You guys have really got me through some tough times. Everyone who's donated to the channel, become a member. Yeah, Patron donations. You guys are awesome. I really, really appreciate it. All the super chats, all the super stickers. Man, I couldn't tell you how much that meant to me in the last 3 months. And so I'm going to keep putting out these Flat Earth School streams. Yeah, I have to get up a bit earlier. I have to sacrifice a few hours at night and have to be pretty much a total wreck by the end of the evening. But this is so much fun. And as I said, by the end of the week, there's going to be a new radius to your globe if you still think you have a globe. It's going to be absolutely enormous. Okay. If you think the Earth turns on you, turn to Flat Earth School. It is around us 24/7 since the beginning of existence. I've been Mitchell from Australia, and he's been a total Wally who has not debunked anything, who has even proved further beyond any doubt that we have a flat Earth. Until tomorrow, I'm going to be on Quantum Eraser's channel tomorrow on his awesome stream. It may be the last one because then clocks change the following week, and I'll have my original time slot. I think I'm going to go to 1 p.m. Central, and it's now 7 p.m. UK at the moment. But as it stands right now, it's 7 p.m. UK, 6 a.m. Australian, and right now it is still 2 p.m. Central. So until next time, keep it flat, everyone. Don't beg the question. We have absolutely proven that we are on a physical, geometric flat Earth.